What it be like, YouTube? It's your boy Julien, Stoutt, licensed personal trainer, licensed PE teacher, world record powerlifter, special education teacher, health teacher, here to take the fear out of fitness. Welcome back. We're about to take off. Class is in session. Guys, welcome back to the Future Fitness series. The Future Fitness series is where I talk about what's coming in our health and fitness industry in the near or not too distant future. And today's topic is actually something that we kind of do already, but we're not really doing it at the level that is probably coming sooner than you think. And it is called biohacking. So, guys, we have already mapped out the human genome, just so you know. And at this point in time, by mapping out the human genome, that means we know what every gene in our body does, what it's responsible for, how it can affect you short-term and long-term, how certain foods will interact with your body, how certain elements will interact with your body when properly used or digested. So what that is now called is biohacking, and it is in the field of study of nutrigenomics. Now, what is nutrigenomics? So let's go and see what that is. Nutrigenomics is simply the scientific study of the interaction of nutrition and genes, especially with regard to the prevention or treatment of disease. So, while I'm here, I'm going to click on this article by Forbes, which should tell you something because this is about money. Forbes is always about money. So if Forbes is about money and I'm talking to you about nutrigenics and biohacking, what do you think the future is going to be? Financial, right? So biohacking is a do-it-yourself biology practice aimed at improving health, performance, and well-being through strategic intervention. Will continue to be popular in the new year, which means it's already here. For example, one form of biohacking is called nutrigenomics, focuses on how the food you eat interacts with your individual genes. Now, we already talked about this because we just found out recently that Splenda is genotoxic, right? Destroys DNA, wrecks your chromosomes, right? So we just found that out. So we're going to learn and find out what else affects our bodies on a universal scale and on an individual scale. So what that means is that from a humanity standpoint, there are certain things that we're going to just basically tell you stay as far away from it as humanly possible. Then there's other things that we're going to have to get down to family clusters and individuals in order to determine what is going to happen to you if you continue to eat or drink these items. Like, who might be more susceptible to alcoholism based on your genetics? Who might be susceptible to diabetes based on your genetics? Who is susceptible to a debilitating disease based on what types of foods you eat? What if we find out that you have a genetic component to ALS, but with having that genetic component, what triggers it is something in your food, or something that you tend to ingest, or something that you've inhaled? What if it's that? We don't know. I'm not saying that I do know. What I'm saying is that what if we find that out through nutrigenomics? Right? And when we find out what causes what, now we are getting full portfolios on what to stay away from, what is the better sources of food for us to eat from a humanity standpoint, family standpoint, individual standpoint. All right. Using this type of biohacking, people try to map out and optimize how different nutrients affect the way they think, feel, and behave. We're even digging into mental health. Guys, this is going to be crazy. So what we're talking about is that what if a food is causing you to think a certain way? What if a food is causing you to create more of a hormone that influences the way you think, feel, and behave? This is what this biohacking is talking about. Now, I've got news for you. There are certain things that are coming out now that I've known about for the last 20 years. There's things that we're learning right now that we have already known for the last 30 years. So if that's the case, what do you think? How long do you think biohacking has been around? Really been around? Hot minute? 5 years? 10 years? 15 years? 20 years? Who knows, right? So more extreme biohackers modify their bodies using technology like magnets, chips, or computers embedded under their skin. Not a good idea. This year, we'll be seeing more biohackers finding ways to increase fitness using these implanted devices. Guys, you don't know where that's going to lead. I personally will not be participating in that type of thing because it is not safe and it has not been proven to be effective yet. And even then, do you really want microchips in your body? Do you really want that invasion of privacy where everywhere you move, there's a computer knowing what you've done? Unless you wear it. How much is it going to cost to get it implanted in the first place? And then how much is it going to cost for you to get it out? And what is the consequence of taking it out? What's the consequences of putting it in? What if biohacking is a combination of hacking your DNA? And then now that computer can now decide what you have and what your abilities are. Just saying. I know it's science fiction for now, but I don't like when words that mean one thing in one genre sounds like it can mean the same thing in a different genre. And biohacking sounds to me like it could be manipulating your DNA, manipulating your genes, manipulating your biomechanics, manipulating your biochemistry for that matter. All right. So I'm going to land this plane. While I see some good and promising things with it, I also see the negatives. I personally can get with knowing the full makeup of how I operate and knowing what will keep me going longer, what will push me into my centenarian years and be healthy in my centenarian years, as opposed to relying on technological intervention in order for me to live under the guise of freedom, because I don't believe that would be freedom. And I think you'll be, especially with artificial intelligence running around, I don't think it'd be a good idea for us to put ourselves in that position. However, there are very good ideas here. I would love to have a full genetic markup as to how my body interacts with certain foods. So that way I could avoid the bad, take in the good, perform at a higher level, and be the best version that I could be. And maybe you can do the same so that you can be the best you. Guys, thank you for your time. I appreciate you listening. If you like what you heard, go ahead and click the like button. Click the subscribe button as well, so that way you can click the all notifications button so you can get every bit of information that I put out. Guys, I appreciate you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. Have a nice day. Be the best you. Class is Stoutt.